To start out, let me share some important shipping concerns. When we ship, we want the horse walked on the van by someone who has already established a positive relationship with the horse. We always want the owner at the receiving end to greet the horse to the new location. There are some horses who require the owner be at both ends of travel, and I realize that sometimes that can be very difficult. The shipper here is T.J. Johnson of Potomac Horse Transport. This is one of his vans. He does a fantastic job for us. On my end, I never plan anything on arrival day. My job is to help receive the horse properly, introduce them to my herd, and observe any behaviors they might have throughout the day. I want to make sure that the new horse settles in and shows no signs of illness or emotional distress. And after the first feeding, I usually have a very good idea of how they're coping. My horses like to put on quite a show when a new horse arrives. Here they are trying very hard to gain Chiefy's attention, and it's obvious he has a fabulous relationship with his owner because all this activity isn't taking him away from her at all. As they start down the driveway and they're closely being followed by the tractor, you can see that this horse isn't allowing anything to come between him and his owner. They have a rock-solid relationship that will only improve with time. The Chiefy man. He is a very, very good boy. It's about 105 heat index here in Florida today. Not a very comfortable situation for a horse that's being shipped down from up north who has a lot of hair on him. My horse is doing a flyby here. They're really looking to get his attention. Of course, they have to show off. That's part of their nature. They have such a good time. I don't know how they can run around in this heat. I was very uncomfortable just doing the filming, and look at them. They're just having a great time. It's really super important when we introduce horses to a herd that we just give them plenty of time to get their sea legs back. So the owner and chieftain are over there just walking around and just letting him get his sea legs back and just helping him out by moving him and checking that everything is doing well with his intestines and just everything is running smoothly, that he's urinating and defecating, that he's not uncomfortable, he doesn't have any illnesses, nothing dripping out of his nose. We just look for all kinds of stuff just to make sure that he's comfortable. There are horses in the van here, and my horses are convinced that they can be seen. So they're doing all these shenanigans here to impress the horses on the van. Yeehaw! Look at that. Wow. You'd never guess that the red horse is actually dominant here. So here we were just checking out the horse, just making sure that he's doing well. You can see that he spent a lot of time leaning up against one of the butt bars, which is nice. I mean, he maintained his balance. Everything is really going good with his hind end here. The flat halter doesn't make communication very easy, but we didn't switch out to the rope halter yet. We just wanted him to walk around and get comfortable on the property. So we're showing him the sights, showing him the backyard, taking him around the lake, getting him closer and closer to the herd that he's going to be joining, but doing it with human intervention. Maintaining constant relationship, constant connection with him at all times. And you can see even here, as close as he is to that herd, that he's paying a lot of attention to his owner. Pretty unconcerned about what it is he's going to be doing. He knows he's going in that pasture. Very wise, very mature horse for his age. He has a lot of names. And let's see if this close-up shows why we call him Scarface Malone. Oh, yeah. Scarface Malone. There he is. So, when we were ready, one by one, my horses started to come down and introduce themselves. They know that they are supposed to check in with me first. There's a check-in. And then they go over and they introduce themselves. They're supposed to be quiet, friendly. We always do introductions where there is no electric fence. So we have chosen this particular gate as the area where my horses have learned to greet the new people. The youngest of my herd, the biggest horse that I have, is always very willing to be the first one to introduce himself. Here comes my second in command. He's going to come down and try to introduce himself here, and the younger horse is not going to let that happen, so that's fine. We don't get too concerned. We just stand back and let this happen. Lots of nose blowing and little nips, and there was absolutely no discussion. Nobody said anything. There was no squealing. There was no murmuring. There's one of my horses checking in with me. Little nips there. Come on, you guys, let's play. And the red horse and my lead mare finally get the opportunity to introduce themselves. And Chieftain is going to come over and kind of check out my horses here, which is good. Everybody just follows along the fence line. They just all want to say hi to him. And then he came over to say hi to me. We haven't seen each other in a couple of months, so had to turn the camera off there for a second. So I turned him loose. My horses, all three of them, are supposed to stand facing the gate. They're supposed to be, anywhere between 10 and 20 feet away, and they're not allowed to interfere as I bring the horse in and turn him loose. And I ran back to the camera so I could catch all this stuff. It's very important that we establish the introduction slowly. So you can see here, nobody's trying to mess with him too much. They're just going along with him. He's actually looking for a place to roll. He's trying to get away from my herd so that he can just take a moment and get some dirt on him. He likes to be dirty, and I can't blame him after, we're not really sure, 24 hours on the trailer at least, on the van. It's a long haul down here. The red horse is just kind of moving him around a little bit, just keeping him moving. It's always better for him to have lots and lots of running time than it is to be standing in a stall. The only time that we stall them when they come onto the property is if the shipper arrives in the middle of the night. We do not introduce horses into the herd during the dark hours. We want them to be completely comfortable. Content and happy. This is about what it was like. There comes the lead mare. She's going to come over and check everything out. She's pretty standoffish anyway. She'll get to know him better over the next couple of days, but she's not always in a hurry. It's not important to her to be the first one to greet the new horses. There we go. This is usually where you're going to see some excitement. When you have 3 geldings and a mare, somebody's going to do something stupid. And take a look at what happened today. Yep, that's about it. That's what we had all day long. No fireworks. Calm, quiet, well-adjusted horses who thought that it might be wise to just eat. I was pretty proud of them. They did a great job, all of them. It was a really good day.